What began as a routine mission aboard the International Space Station quickly escalated into a life-threatening situation. A spacewalk, part of routine maintenance on the station, was interrupted by an unexpected and dangerous event. Two astronauts exited the ISS for what was expected to be a 5-hour mission to inspect and repair parts of the station's cooling system. The process, carefully planned and monitored by NASA's Mission Control, was going according to plan, until a catastrophic event changed everything. Spacewalks, or extravehicular activities, EVAs, are critical for maintaining the International Space Station. During these missions, astronauts leave the safety of the station to perform delicate operations in the vacuum of space. Every movement is monitored closely by NASA's Mission Control on Earth. The astronauts were tasked with inspecting the cooling system, a vital component that ensures the station's onboard electronics and life support systems remain operational. Mission Control was in constant communication with the astronauts, guiding them through each step of the spacewalk. For the first few hours, everything appeared to be going smoothly. But just as the astronauts reached the exterior of the cooling system, disaster struck. An explosion rocked the station, sending debris into the void of space. The source of the explosion was traced to an external oxygen tank. The explosion sent shockwaves through the station structure, and debris scattered in all directions, threatening the astronauts' safety. With their tethered connections to the station and their fragile spacesuits, the situation became critical in an instant. NASA immediately initiated emergency protocols. Trained for emergencies like this, the astronauts quickly initiated their emergency protocols. Their immediate goal was to distance themselves from the source of the explosion while avoiding the dangerous debris that could puncture their suits. Back on Earth, NASA's Mission Control worked quickly to assess the damage and establish a plan to get the astronauts back inside the ISS safely. Communication between Mission Control and the astronauts remained vital as the team on the ground guided the astronauts away from the most dangerous areas. The situation demanded immediate action. Engineers back on Earth monitored real-time data from the astronauts' spacesuits, tracking their oxygen levels, vital signs, and locations relative to the ISS. The main priority was to guide them back to the airlock, where they could safely re-enter the station. Despite the chaos, Mission Control remained focused. The team developed a strategy to maneuver the astronauts away from the debris and guide them toward the nearest airlock, where they could return to the safety of the station. Experts now believe that the explosion was caused by a malfunction in an external oxygen tank. These tanks are part of the station's life support system and are used to store breathable oxygen. A sudden pressure failure likely caused the tank to rupture, resulting in a catastrophic explosion. The debris created by the explosion posed an immediate threat to the astronauts. Even a small piece of metal traveling at high speeds could puncture a spacesuit, leading to potentially fatal consequences. Explosions in space are particularly dangerous due to the unique environment of the vacuum, where traditional physical forces behave differently compared to Earth. Here's an in-depth look at the dangers of an explosion in space. On Earth, when an explosion occurs, the atmosphere plays a significant role in absorbing, dispersing, and reducing the force of the blast. In space, however, there is no air or atmosphere to cushion the explosion. This means that when something explodes, the energy and debris can spread uncontrollably and at very high speeds. Astronauts outside the spacecraft during a spacewalk are extremely vulnerable. Their spacesuits are designed to protect them from the harsh environment of space, extreme temperatures, radiation, and the lack of oxygen. But they are not built to withstand high-speed debris or blasts from an explosion. Even a tiny piece of debris traveling at high speed can puncture an astronaut's spacesuit. A puncture would mean a rapid loss of air pressure, leading to a dangerous loss of oxygen. In the vacuum of space, This could result in almost immediate unconsciousness and, without prompt intervention, death. Spacecraft are pressurized to allow astronauts to live and breathe without wearing their spacesuits inside. If an explosion creates a breach in the station, the air can escape rapidly, leading to depressurization. Astronauts would need to quickly find a secure area to seal off the breach, or they could lose breathable air. After several tense minutes, the astronauts successfully navigated through the debris field and made their way back to the airlock. Thanks to quick thinking and constant communication with mission control, they were able to dock safely. Their training, combined with the expertise of NASA's mission control, ensured their safe return.